Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome to Arena Lacrosse League action at Children's Arena. It's a Saturday, February 21st game, and Adam Peroni has the ball right off the bat. Here's a shot by Liam Osborne, the save by Joel Watson, making the stop. In net for the Toronto Monarchs, going right to left. There's Aaron Walker running the ball up, and Toronto will set up the offense. They're facing the Whitby Steelhawks with Elaine Rushka between the pipes. The shot's going to be over and back. Didn't touch anything on the way, so Whitby will get the possession once again. Ball rolls all the way down to Joel Watson. I'm Steven Stamp. Welcome to this game between the 7-2 Whitby Steelhawks and the mirror image 2-7 Toronto Monarchs. Don't let the record fool you too much. Well, Whitby is very good. They're legit 7-2. Toronto is not your typical 2-7 team. They played some very good games, lost a few close ones. There's a shot from the outside by Cole McWilliams. Toronto has allowed 109 goals in their 9 games. The problem is they've had trouble scoring. They have only 87 goals for. No one else in the league has scored fewer than 100. Here's Garrett Lewis picking the ball up, driving over center. Watch there by Sawyer Howell. He's in some trouble, but nice job to get it off to Dylan Hutchison, who decided to just let one rip from his offside way out downtown. And here comes Toronto the other way. Walker with a quick shot. Rushka stops that one. Nice, guys. We're looking to shoot today. Peroni with the ball. Walker goes to pick him up. Whitby with 122 goals for. They've allowed 89. So pretty big discrepancy. Toronto is a league worst minus 22 in the goals for and against. Whitby is a league best plus 33. So certainly as Cam Milligan drives to the net, falls into the crease, and Toronto will get possession. The Steelhawks have to be favored. There's Curtis Romanchuk playing up front today and does a pretty nice job on the forecheck. Some pressure from Milligan, and Romanchuk comes up with the ball. Andrew De Silva on him. Here comes the double team. Romanchuk gets through, goes to the net and scores. Doing his best Liam Osborne impression from the far side. Osborne, the righty, loves to drive underneath and bang bounce shots home. Now it's Romanchuk doing so. Riley Morgan on our right on the screen, Adam Peroni on the left. That's going to be an interesting matchup to watch today. Both a couple of pretty dedicated face-off guys. Here's Whitby's Zach Ursu racing into the offensive zone. Tanner Buck picks him up. Buck can play at either end of the floor, but he is Toronto's leading scorer. Leads 20 with 22 goals, with 22 assists, and with 44 points in their 9 games. There's Cam Milligan. Nice save by Watson, making himself big. Fernandez tosses it up to the top to Hutchison. Fernandez trying to isolate. They get it to Osborne. Nice save by Watson, but a penalty coming. It's going to be a check from behind. Man, who got toppled last night when a player ran over him in a loose ball battle. Popped right back up. And he is back here today to call a couple of games. Here's Milligan over to Fernandez. They're going strong right on the power play. Osborne cuts to the middle. They swing it around and cut to Ursu, the filler. Doesn't get to Osborne. Ursu will pick it up. Sorry, that's McWilliams, the other righty. Skip pass. There's Milligan underhand, saved by Watson. There's an outlet pass. Doesn't quite get through to Sawyer Howell. Rushka to Milligan. Minute 20 left on the power play. Lots of time. You can hear the communication among the defenders as Toronto attempts to deal with the power play set. Monarchs killing some time here. 47 left on the power play. Eight left on the shot clock. Some time being killed here by Steph Diachenko. And there's a reverse back. Oh, what a shot by Rowan Kelly. Drops the head of the stick and just bounces one down past Joel Watson. A pretty nifty little play in transition by Rowan Kelly. So an early start for Whitby. They get up 2-0, and Toronto's going to want to avoid falling too far behind because we know Whitby can score in bunches.
Yeah, the last few games throughout the league, it's been high scoring, so it's almost like everybody's defense is taking the night off.
Yeah, I was calling the game last night. It was one of the 4-on-4 games because it was a makeup for the Week 5 game that had to be canceled because of the weather. And yeah, 24-18 for Oshawa in that one, and it was a wild one. Don't anticipate quite that here, but here's a chance. Curtis Conley takes the lead pass and rams it off the post. Cam Milligan going to step back up. We are back to even strength. Whitby still in possession of the lead. That pass is tipped, but it'll be Fernandez tracking it down. Walker on him. Steps into space, Fernandez, and the rebound bounces straight to Milligan. Oh, and Fernandez is wide open. Another save by Joel Watson, who's sharp early on in this game. But again, a reset for Whitby.
Cam Milligan takes out Withers, the referee. Pretty good. Don't see that every day.
The refs are having a tough time this weekend. They are in the thick of things. Romanchuk passing. Fernandez with the shot. That was tipped down by Milligan on the forecheck. It will roll to Walker, but the 8 count is going to start to run. And Fernandez, he's not going to bother picking it up. Smart play by Fernandez. Just stand and let the 8 count.
Geez, Toronto just struggling with everything there early here. Loose balls, possessions.
Buck going after Hutchison. He gets by, and Travis Zabolts with the shot.
Just tried to power that through.
Home. Yeah. He's a big guy. He likes to shoot hard.
He might have some luck with that.
Comes over to the near side to Stefan Diachenko. That's tipped. Grabbed by Ursu. He's just looking for an outlet. He's going to calmly wait until it opens up. And Nathan Emery will go for a run. Hutchison feeds far side. There's McWilliams. Little head fake. Cradling high. Throws it high to Zabolts, but it's a bit too hot.
See if Toronto can get a good offensive set to get themselves into this thing.
No, Mitch Julian's just going to rip it. We've seen a lot of shots early in the game. I know you ran into a couple of timing issues, so just came in like a minute in. But in the first couple of possessions, I mean, we saw Dylan Hutchison rip one from the far side. 5 seconds, like 2 guys on the floor for Whitby, and Toronto similar things. A lot of early shots, which.
Sometimes, when you score, like any transition player, when you score in transition, it looks great. When you shoot and you don't, you're going to get accosted at the bench from the coach saying, hey, pull that out and let's wait for a full set.
Yeah. The old, no, nice shot.
Yeah.
If it goes in.
Yeah.
Buck at the top of the power play is Whitby. Slashing call. Long outlet pass is not there to Marinier. Oh, and that's an over and back. And that's Steph Diachenko just not playing in this for a while, and now he's going to go for a delay of game because he didn't put the ball down right away. 18 seconds into the Whitby penalty. We'll now drop to 4-on-4, and then of course a brief Whitby penalty coming. Whitby power play coming at the end. Osborne feeds it through to Milligan, who caught it down by his knee, changes direction, comes out from behind, looking for the old Sean Evans reverse whip. Somehow came up with a loose ball and flips it up, but it's picked off by De Silva. He's on the run with Buck. Switches hands, which, okay. And then tosses it back up to Parker.
Well, De Silva played a lot of field. He's down in California, actually, is where he's from. So we had him in Peterborough at the start of the year, and it was a better fit for him up here in Toronto.
Here's Buck ripping it from the outside with the extra attacker out. I don't see a delayed penalty coming, and now they're sending somebody to the bench.
Just trying to take a little bit of pressure off of their 5-on-4 situation.
Yeah, it's a bold maneuver.
Yeah.
And they're going to get a fresh 30, and now we've got another penalty coming. It's going to be Hutchison.
It's a tough call, but they really have talked a lot about trying to get this thing to a whole new level, and that the play was dead. Hutchie gave him a little crack after, and they're not going to tolerate it. So it's the right call. Very tight, but it's the right call.
So the dead ball contact. you'd rather see that in the first half of the first quarter like this than in later in the game. It hasn't
and I think
called.
that's the idea. The referees will set the tone, and hopefully the players will settle into it.
So 4-on-3 for Toronto. Great chance for them to get their first goal. Parker's shot tips off the foot of Rushkin up out of play, fresh 30. Buck was sneaking into the back door, nicely taken away by Kelly. Marinier, Kelly, and Farthing, the penalty killers. There's Buck's shot. It's going to come out to Sawyer Howell. Oh, he missed it. And over and back, and that's going to cost Toronto the 4-on-3 as there's 29 seconds left in the first Whitby penalty. That's a tough one.
Didn't really generate a whole lot there, and they got some skill up front there. Obviously with Tanner Buck, if he gets a good look, he's going to probably more times than not put it in.
Yeah. So Whitby's just going to take all the time they can, try a shot at the end of the 30. There's McWilliams. Milligan just kind of backs into a pick for him. Milligan, the leading scorer for Whitby with 19 goals, 35 assists, which is fourth in the league, and 56 points, which is third coming into the day. He got leapfrogged last night, and a lot of Oshawa players scored. Go and check out the stats on that one.
Yeah.
Led by a new Arena Lacrosse League record set not by one of the Oshawa players on the team that had 24, set by Brian Neufeld for St. Catharines with 16 points on their 18 goals. It's 4-on-3. The shot by Buck, there you go. Gets his lane. He loves that little dip of the shoulder to create a twister effect and finds a hole. So the Monarchs are on the board. Perrone pulls it back from Morgan over to Kelly, gets it to Curtis Conley. That's a pretty good little ball group off the faceoff. Some real ball hawks on the loose balls. Over to Zabolts. 48 now on the other Whitby penalty. So Toronto obviously going to try to get this ball back and get a chance. There's a good 26 seconds between shot clock and the penalty clock. That's Romanchuk trying to spin off track. It somehow avoids the crease. Still has the ball.
TV timeout.
Yeah, we'll take the media break with it 2-1 in favor of the Whitby Steelhawks. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. This is Arena Lacrosse League action at the Children's Arena.
The year.
Probably. Buck over to Howell. 20 seconds left on the power play as we recommence here between the Monarchs and Steelhawks. Some outside movement. Howell dishes, cuts. There's Buck on his offside, gets it through. Again, that shoulder tilt just creates it looks like he's straight over the top, but it's a twister action. He can shoot anywhere with that one. Again, not at the level of Jameson. Not many people at that level. Hutchison swoops in to grab that loose ball. And we're all tied up at 2 with 5:15 to go in the first quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan.
Again, we talked about Hutchie last time we were doing this, and he's just been everywhere for Whitby this year. Offensively, defensively, transition.
Cole McWilliams, a recent addition, has been a nice one. There's Milligan with the rip across to Hutchison. McWilliams kind of a little hesitation. That one's going to get out of play. Actually, the 30 will expire, and Toronto gets it. I'm fresh off calling the game last night where we had 42 goals, so this just seems a very slow pace, but it's
walk in the park for
the
you.
Defenses are being a little sharper. Definitely making it harder to get shots off. And Oshawa had, I think it was like 5 of their first 6 goals were in transition. They're just running all over the floor. The 8-second count is going to run out on Cody Hamley. Some good forecheck pressure from Toronto and tying up all the guys down the field. Nobody really looking, nobody to pass to. Buck hands it off to the far side. Campbell Parker tried to go underneath. Nice job turning him back by C.J. Fleming. Marinier way up and strips it away from Lucas Ferreira, the youngster. And they're still going at it, Ferreira and Marinier. I don't like Ferreira's chances in that.
No, that's a big
matchup.
boy, yeah.
Marinier, not a goon by any stretch of the imagination, but a big, solid, tough lacrosse player. Ferreira, he's not backing down, obviously, but he's a younger guy and a little willowy at this point.
Good compete level there for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching him play last time we saw him here. There's Romanchuk stepping around the pick. He's looking pretty comfortable stepping into the offensive role, normally a D-training guy. Zabolts hands it back, and Osborne is underneath. Oh, what a nice finish by Osborne. for his 33rd of the season. So he leads the team with now 33 goals, coming in with 32. He is second in the league with that total. Has added 11 assists for 43 points. The exact same as Dylan Hutchison with 43, 14 goals, 29 assists. And then Jeff Fernandez, 14 goals, 27 assists for 41 points. So a really balanced and dangerous scoring attack. Marini steps over center, immediately picked up by De Silva. Milligan likes the shot. It's not there, though. Oh, and we've got a player down. He soaked that one. I think he got the ball and the stick.
Yeah.
So, Sully, we've passed the midway point of the season. Teams are starting to kind of find their levels as Riley Comano gets up, gets a nice hand from the crowd. I don't know, you see any trends while you've got about 15 seconds here?
Well, you see a lot of
boil
things.
Down the whole season.
Well, wow. So you see Whitby doing what everybody knew Whitby would do. I think the surprise for me might be what Paris has done. They've just been so incredible. Mm-hmm. And the rest of the teams are all settling in for that kind of third position. And you see some of the teams that have been struggling early now right up in the thick of it all.
Yeah. Very tightly bunched after the two top teams, Paris and Whitby at 7-2. Paris is playing tonight here in Oshawa. Another game that will be loaded to the Arena Lacrosse League website at arenalacrosseleague.ca and JVI Sports Network on YouTube. High pass to Walker. He goes after it. Little switch. Nice defensive play, and then the stop by Arushka as he saw that one all the way. Still seemed to have a little trouble with it. Here's an outlet pass to Nathan Emery all alone. Nice save, Watson. The rebound comes out hot, but it's grabbed by Smitheram. Andrew Smitheram in the offensive zone. Picked up there by Lewis. Boy, Garrett Lewis and Clint Lewis, they look the same. They're built the same. They've got the same mustache. It always takes me a second to figure out which one it is. And there's Clint Lewis reaching in and chopping the ball out of the stick of Sawyer Howell. Pretty nice play by Lewis.
Was, yeah. But they do, you're very right. They run the same. They carry themselves the same.
Hamley, a hard shot, but right in the end of the Monarchs logo on Joel Watson. Gets it ahead to De Silva. That's a nice catch, and he's going to race towards the net. Stopped by Rushka. What a play there is. De Silva's raw, but that is what why people are excited about what he might turn into.
He's got the size. He pulled that out of a crowd there, and Watson made a great pass to get it there. A real tight pass.
Yeah. McWilliams coming in from the wing. Smitheram on him. A little pick. That actually bounced off the back foot of the Toronto defender and rolled away, so Romanchuk was able to get it. It gets to McWilliams, who tries a swim move, and it works, but the save by Joel Watson. I'll tell you, Joel Watson's a young goaltender who, he's got some developing to do, as most young goaltenders do, but I've never seen a guy at as many of these games as him.
Absolutely. You see him at all the games everywhere.
He watches lacrosse. He talks lacrosse. He loves this sport, lives, eats, and breathes it. And he's a good kid. He's just such a good guy. Oh, there's a pass on the top, and Morgan was all alone. Might have even been a bit surprised how open he was with a save by Rushka. And this is Emery going the other way. Boy, Nathan Emery's just flying up and down the floor today.
Yeah, he's caused a lot of trouble for the Toronto in transition.
And Milligan was waving guys off the bench and said, "Come on out, watch me take this shot." There's a log jam, a traffic jam at the bench, the door to the Whitby bench. Now they've got their goalie Rushka coming to the net to the bench. Yeah, they can wait for a last shot in the period. But they still don't have the extra attacker. Now they still got a dozen seconds as Hutchison just waits for McWilliams to join them. Milligan's at the top looking for the ball. He'll get it over to McWilliams. Skip pass. Tried to feed it through, and somehow it got to Osborne. And then there's a shot at the other end. And I don't think any of that was how it was drawn up.
It was a great attempt there.
It was.
Just a little bit of a delay in that last pass there. Otherwise, Whitby gets a great opportunity right in front of the doorstep of Watson.
3-2, Whitby over Toronto through one quarter of play. I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Sullivan. This is the Arena Lacrosse League. We'll be right back. We are back to action. The second quarter underway. That's the kind of battle I've been expecting between Peroni and Morgan. Morgan pulls it back between his legs, but it was Hutchison getting the ball, and then Peroni and Morgan keep going. Morgan was on his back and kind of grabbed onto On to Peroni's stick. That pass isn't connected. It's going to be grabbed by Garrett Lewis. Cross to the captain, Mark Farthing. Looking very much like Ryan Dilks, the way he runs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's got the brace back on. It seems every other game he's got the brace on or off. So
trying to decide.
Yeah.
Milligan's pass is a little bit behind Hutchinson. He does track it down off the boards. They've got 10 left to shoot. Osborne feeds it through behind the back by Hutchison off the crossbar. That was very smooth. You don't think of Hutchison as a fancy player, but that was pretty sweet. Osborne gets over to Fernandez, back up to Hutchison. Let's see what we can conjure this time. A little stutter step, backs off to Silva, over to McWilliams. Passes across to the far side, and Fernandez will try a shot. Watson stops that. Joel Watson's looked pretty sharp.
Yeah,
here's
so
the man
far
up the floor, yeah.
That's going to kill them there. They're just giving the ball back. That's the second time we've seen that already this start of this third quarter here.
Yeah, a bunch of turnovers for Toronto, and you just can't do that when you're
really,
up against a team.
Really unforced.
Yeah.
You know.
Milligan. Oh, what a shot. Just perfectly placed. Not a lot of power, just precision.
A slow delivery that causes the goalie to move, and then he has that last little flick of the wrist that seems to be able to pull it one side to the other just in the last second.
That's it. Peroni and Morgan are going to go. They've continued their jousting up at the dot. Mark Thompson's had enough. He'll send them both for roughing. And it's kind of funny. Peroni's arguing. He's chirping. He's like, come on, this and that. Morgan just walks to the box. He knew.
Well, it's second nature for Riley. I mean, he would be, I guess, considered a heavyweight in this league.
Yeah.
And he's not going to tolerate that,
Tanner Buck at the top. He stays 5-on-5, of course. No change in the manpower with the coincidental minors. Buck sidearm shot. Rushka saw that all the way. Buck actually grabs it almost out of the stick of his teammate. Gets it across, but Rushka makes the save. Lewis
Buck going on looked like he took a late hit there.
Oh, yeah, he's really slow getting to the bench. Just getting their fifth defender out. But Oshawa, or Whitby just getting their fifth forward on. Fernandez across the top. Here's McWilliams. Trying to shoot through the screen. He does, but it's right in the middle of the chest. Bounces out to Milligan, his shot is stopped. That was a much tougher save.
Yeah, that was through a crowd there for Watson to pick that up.
Mitch Zulian sees Rowan Kelly. He's going to try and evade that. The pass almost got away, but it's tracked down. Nice job to catch it by Riley Comano. Whitby's just all kinds of pressure. Now it leads to Buck kind of opening up, but there's just no time for
Buck
the Toronto
going off
forwards
there
to
limping.
breathe.
That's not a good sign for Toronto.
Yeah, he's coming on the floor a lot quicker than he's coming off, and then we run the floor, and Whitby with the goal in transition, taking advantage of a bit of a slow return.
Hutchie just got a late pass there and caught Watson coming across.
That trailer always so dangerous. So Garrett Lewis and Andrew De Silva will come and take the draw with both of the primary faceoff men in the penalty box for another minute or so, minute and a half. Good clamp by De Silva. Can he get it? He does. Over and back because he established himself heading towards the offensive zone, but then we have a delay of game penalty because Marinier and De Silva kind of getting after each other a bit. Well, Marinier getting after De Silva. So it's the original penalty. I believe there's going to be a power play because De Silva had gotten the delay of game penalty. Marinier got up on him, and they both got dead ball contact fouls, I believe. Unless it's only Marinier getting the dead ball, and then they've just given away the power play and will stay 5-on-5. Yeah, you know what? It is just the matching because Toronto's got the ball.
It's kind of an undisciplined penalty there for Marinier to take. De Silva, was going to the box. They could have jumped on top of it, just gave him a little more momentum, but such is lacrosse.
I was watching, they were 4-on-4, so I was thinking, maybe there's a 2 and a 5, and there's a differential, but they've just thrown their extra guys out.
Graham.
And he's one of those guys, he doesn't seem like the fastest guy, but he gets wherever he needs to be. He just moves so smoothly, and he's so smart. Oh, that ball dropped by Diachenko. Ursu racing down. He's got two guys with him. Finds the man off the bench. Oh, nice save. Watson just holding his ground on Romanchuk.
You were talking about Buck.
Yep. What a nice pass. A great catch by Ferreira. And then the ball just pops off his stick, rolls back in. Go ahead.
Not overly fast, and definitely not a big framed person. So he gets it done the hard way.
Fernandez gets handcuffed by that low pass from Kelly. And Whitby's going to slow things down and set up the offense. Make a couple of changes. Osborne to Milligan. He's going to get a pick from McWilliams. Gets it passed through now. They can't quite connect. Now Osborne gets it, but the 30 expires. The ball went in, but it was after the buzzer. And to be fair, Watson heard the buzzer, may have let up.
Yeah, he did. It looked like he hesitated.
Yeah. They get it ahead to Parker. Campbell Parker watched there by Hamley, who just blasts through the pick from Buck. Oh, Riley Cumano, I think, caught Lane Rushka a little off guard with that one.
I don't think anybody was expecting that shot from that far out.
5-3 with 11:03 to play. Morgan Peroni back out. Toronto gets possession. Aaron Walker will take it on his offside. He's going to wait for the offense to get out and hand it over. He'll stay, head over to his normal side. They're going to try another outside shot. Rushka's ready for this one from the stick of Zulian. Long outlet pass. Farthing all alone. Oh, hand save, Joel Watson. The old man still got some wheels. Mark Farthing flying up the floor. Still remember when he played his one game with the Toronto Rock and was outstanding in that game, and then tore his knee up in the dying minutes of the game. They went into the change room, gave him their belt or whatever it is they give for their kind of hard hat player of the game guy. And
really unfortunate.
Really,
really truly is. Timing is everything, and it's just too bad for Mark.
I still think he can still play. He's so smart, and he's really transformed from a transition guy into a D-first, solid leadership guy in the back end. Great coach. He will be killing the penalty with Rowan Kelly on the back end. They've got Corey Upshaw and Matt Marinier up top. There's Buck as Toronto goes strong left. Oh, and he just rips one 6 seconds into the power play from the top, sees the spot he likes and finds it. Morgan and Lewis, and Morgan rips that one out to Silva. He's still got the ball. I actually thought I saw the ball popping out, but you can see it very clearly in that black mesh. Speaking of black mesh, Farthing's going to let that one go. Here comes Rowan Kelly. Marinier running some traffic for him. Shot by Watson, and you've got a 2-on-2 for Toronto. They're going to slow down a little. They've pulled within a goal after that power play. Yep.
Toronto doesn't have the bench to try to go back and forth, so they're better to take as many stoppages and play as they can, to be quite honest.
Buck watched by Hutchison. Shoots around the screen, and Rushka had to be sharp. Hutchison was up the floor. Rushka didn't want to try the pass, and by the time he got it to Hamley, Toronto had gotten back, but Hutchison had gotten in behind. Whippy goes back to the setup. So Bolts bounce pass to Fernandez, who runs up to the top. Morgan way out on him. Back over to Hutchison. Morgan with some sturdy D here, but then Hutchison gets free, gets the shot off. No problem for Watson.
It was good. I mean, I think Toronto got off there easy there because Buck was really lost out there defensively, and I just finished saying so much about him, but you got to play to your strength, and that definitely wasn't for him back there.
He does play a fair bit of D. I mean, he'll go out and kill penalties too, but you got to think, like you said, a little out of his position there. Oh, how did that goal go in? I think there's going to be a conversation.
So they're going to call that a goal, but I mean.
They did, but I think it's going to be waved off,
goal, yeah.
saying it was a crease violation.
That's the right call.
Yeah.
Frustrating if you're Toronto for sure, but it is the right call.
You're always going to argue when it's called a goal and then taken away, but like you said, definitely a violation. Conley up for an offensive shift. Driving in is McWilliams. He steps in the crease. It's almost eerie how much, with their helmets on, Curtis Conley and ball boy Nate Sage resemble each other.
Yeah.
Nate, a very committed young man. Love seeing him. He's out all the time. He was our runner at the MSL draft a while ago. Wherever there's lacrosse, he'll be there. Just loves the game. Gets his gear on. Loves to
play.
He
sure does. Bit of a battle over on the far side between Howell and Marinier.
Osborne will start with it up at the top as we stay 5-on-5. 5-4 with 8:01 to play here in the second quarter. Whitby is ahead. They've got the ball. And Fernandez down to Milligan behind the net and is offside. Tried to feed it through, couldn't find anybody, but Osborne will track it down. 18 on the shot clock. He gets loose, steps around, shoots. Nice save, Watson. Zabolt's another stop by Watson. Osborne gets it back. Milligan's going to say slow it down, toss it over to Travis Zabolt. This is Hutchison. A little pick from Fernandez. A little too much of a pick. Fernandez just kept going.
Almost like a wrestling maneuver there.
Well, he was Hutchison was running in the same direction as the pick and then suddenly changed direction, and Fernandez was I think actually lost his balance and just pushed the guy over. Great hustle by Curtis Conley up here on Watson. Oh, and that's a tough break for Whitby because he was off of Kelly.
They had great pressure up high and then just a last tip of the stick.
And that means a fresh 30 for the Monarchs. We're past the midway point of the second quarter here. Parker spinning. Oh, player fell down, which left Zulian wide open, but a save by Rushka. They make it with a couple seconds to spare over center, and Conley will peruse who's ahead of him. Milligan, hard sidearm rip. That's one that you don't mind so much on the far side because clearly he's capable of putting that in. It goes off the crossbar in that case. Zulian hustling after it, but it's going to be Emery. Oh, and Romanchuk throwing a gloved punch at Kumano. Kumano wants nothing to do with it.
I think he has to be. Yeah. I mean, you don't. One thing to be physical and a little bit of chirping. That's I don't want to say that's the game, but it is. But when someone's down, you can't come in and lay a punch like that. I mean, it's just that's not good in any sport.
You talking Romanchuk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. Did he get? I thought Kumano was gone for Toronto as well. He's gone to the bench. He's got his helmet off. It was kind of knocked off by Romanchuk. We'll see. All right, we're ready to go. It looks like there will be only one penalty that doesn't offset. It looks like Romanchuk and Kumano have both been tossed out of the game. Whitby goes to the power play. Cam Milligan at the top as they go strong right. So 5-4 lead for Whitby. They'll try to extend it. They go behind the net. Hutchison tries to find Osborne. Nice job getting the stick in the lane there. Backdoor pass doesn't connect with Hutchison. He does get it. Milligan will have to shoot with 3 seconds left. That's going to be an over and back. Buck's going to get it. He can be dangerous short-handed in the tradition of Jordan Critch and Dustin Caravello, who really reminds me of those guys. Oh, a match penalty to Romanchuk, so that'll come with a suspension. The 30 is going to expire. That's okay for Toronto. They just let the clock tick down, get some defenders out. There's Buck at the top of the penalty kill, along with Zulian. Whitby starts pushing down. Fernandez to Milligan, behind the back. Osborne finds a lane that he likes, but Watson with the save. Milligan's going to track it down. Rush will come out and help him out as that ball's just zipping along the turf.
Got a good shot, good look there, just couldn't finish.
And we've said this before, Toronto, even if they don't have everyone in their roster, they just keep battling. They work so hard.
They really do. Like tonight again, Watson's kind of bailed them out a couple of times, but their call-ups have stepped up and played decent so far early in the game.
Buck will go into the corner to start with it. Just 18 seconds left on the penalty, so Toronto can kill the rest of it and actually have a dozen seconds to work on the offensive set. They're getting all after him, and Marinier knocks it loose, and he and De Silva getting into it again. Oh, they're going to go. The helmet came off. Marinier, I'd like him to take his helmet off, but he is busy throwing some bombs. De Silva does get the helmet off, gets jerseyed a bit. All right, so 1 second left in the Toronto penalty. That ends. Smitherham walks to the bench, and we are back to even strength. 4.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. It's 5-4 for Whitby. It's quite a contrast to the 24-18 game I called last night. I'm liking some of the defense. The goaltending's been solid. That pass does not connect, and it's going to be not grabbed by Corey Upshaw. Gets away, so Buck goes and grabs it, glides towards the corner, and that's a penalty to Upshaw. Check from behind. The save by Arushka, but Toronto's going to get a chance with a fresh 30 and a chance to get the extra attacker out.
Great second effort for Buck to pick that up, and then even to get the shot after getting the infraction.
Yeah, the shot was a little bit wide, so they ran out of time on the 30. But they will go to the power play with 4:13 to go and a chance to tie it up here in the second.
I think he.
All right, we are back, ready to roll. The power play coming for Toronto for 2 minutes or less with 4:13 to go in the second. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan, and Tanner Buck has the ball up top. It's Lucas Ferreira with the ball, heads down low. Parker tries to just create something, gets a shot off, but Rushka swallows it up. Now there's some pressure. He's got to get rid of it. There should be someone open down the floor, but Buck intercepts. It's like Troy Polamalu cutting across there. Guess I should update. Go Eric Weddle.
Yeah, I was going to say that's
right. That's
quite
a while
comparison
ago.
too. Holy.
Yeah. I think I was swayed by the Andrew De Silva hair when his helmet came off. Thought of Troy Polamalu. He's got quite some head of hair over there. That young man does. And timeout to Toronto. Blaine McCauley just wants to have a chat with his club. All right, we're set to go. 1:19 on the power play. 3:33 in the half. We'll see what Toronto drew up. Buck's going to start. He's directing traffic. You want guys to tighten up. Parker's on the low crease on the lefty side. There's a pick. Oh, and it's picked off. Conley, he's going to have Peroni running with him, makes the pass, pulls it in, shoots. Oh, got a little steep. A great effort, but just missed the far side. Toronto gets it ahead, and here's Lucas Ferreira. Dichenko down on the righty crease. Takes the pass from Sawyer. Howell gets a shot, flattened from behind by Lewis. No call there. Lewis into the corner trying to get the loose ball off the rebound. Double teamed. You can hear the Whitby bench yelling, "Get in there, Kelly," and Ron Kelly's just kind of surveying. It's going to be a withholding call on Whitby, and Toronto's going to get the ball back in a fresh 30 with 30 left on their power play. Buck has switched over to the shooter spot, immediately back to the top. There's Ferreira again. Buck rips one. That's in the middle of the beak of the Steelhawk on Lane Rushka's chest. Buck slips in like a scrum half this time. Gets that ball behind the back pass.
No, that's a little, yeah, I don't know. I think it was a pass, but it almost ended up like a shot.
Yeah. Rowan Kelly running the floor. The penalty expires. Upshaw steps to the bench, and Milligan comes off the bench. Tried to sneak in, but they picked him up pretty quickly coming. So as we mentioned, Romanchuk and Camano are gone for the game. Both got match penalties. Milligan's hard shot to the far corner, stopped by Watson, but it's picked back up again. Cody Hamley pushes one across. And Turf Monster got Cole McWilliams, but he pops right back up. Fights through traffic, gets underneath, drags Ferrer to the crease and scores, but it's a crease violation. Watson was sent sprawling, and he's actually going after the player. Now Hutchison grabbing face masks with one of the Toronto players, I think Campbell Parker. Watson was very upset at McWilliams.
Yeah, he got in there awfully tight, so I think that's the concern. You know, goalies want to own their crease area, and they don't want anybody taking any liberties, that's for sure.
Yeah, when guys get down around your knees, it's not pleasant. Here's Ferreira over to Buck at the top. Dichenko finds Ferreira. Got Farthing right on him. Gets loose, shoots, misses far side. Rushka did get a bit of it. Fleming trying to get the ball. Swats it. It bounces and is picked up there. Here comes Ursu. He's got a couple of guys with him. Farthing trailing Lewis on the far side. Behind the back. That's quite a pass.
That was a great pass, yeah.
Did not see that one coming. Clint Lewis through the crease and played the ball. He's actually lucky, I would say, not to get a delayed game because he's going to drag that ball away with him.
Could have easily been a penalty, yeah.
1:09 to go in the first half. This is quite a game. Whitby 5, Toronto 4. You would not know that you've got a 7-2 team playing a 2-7 team. We said that at the beginning of the game. Toronto is not your typical 2-7 team. They will grind the whole way. Big swat, and that's going to be a penalty to Garrett Lewis. He chopped down the arm, yeah. Diving dunk attempt. Is it? I think it's a crease call.
I haven't seen a signal yet.
Yeah, Matt Chamel had the arm up for the late penalty, and I think he pointed to the crease, but it was kind of lined up so we couldn't see it. Don't recall if somebody went and served the penalties for them.
I actually didn't see anybody in the penalty box. Yeah, right? I don't think I see anybody in there, no.
Interesting. 43 seconds in the half. Toronto still on the power play, or going to the power play, with Lewis taking that slashing call. They go backdoor, doesn't get through to Parker. Actually bounces back to Duchenko.
Very lucky bounce.
Buck from the outside. Foot save by Rushka. Kicks it out. Ferreira trying to get it. Farthing goes after it, but Ferreira will get it. They've got 22 left on the half. There's a shot by Duchenko. No problem for Rushka. Yeah, just throws the hand out. Makes the short pass. Rowan Kelly running. 12 seconds. Ferreira on him. Spinning reverse whip. That one's going to go over and back, and Parker's going to go get it so he can try and get a shot off. Looking to see if anybody's with him. They're not. He's going to go to the net. One hand, sidearm bouncer, a la John Grant, except for the execution.
Yeah.
I like the effort.
Yeah.
You got to give it a go. So through 30 minutes of play, it is Whitby 5, Toronto 4. We'll have a minute 13 remaining on the power play for Toronto. When we come back, I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. This is Arena Lacrosse League action. Here we go, Lacrosse Friends, second half action underway. 5-4, Whitby leads over the Toronto Monarchs. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. There's 1:07 left on the Toronto power play, and they get the ball. Duchenko's going to slow things down. He remembers he's got to get across the timeline. Tanner Buck at the top. They go backdoor. Howell can't quite accept the pass. Farthing will grab it and steps into his crease.
Last second there, just the last second.
And rolls it away, and they're going to let him get away with that. Remember when the NLL first brought it in? I mean, like, if you put it down and it rolled a bit on you, you were going to the box. Yeah, backed off a little bit. Buck. Sidearm pass to Howell again, can't quite catch it. Upshot can't pick it up. I don't know if there's something with the balls the last couple of days. Last night, a lot of people having trouble hanging on to the balls. And again, see, that one pops out. Now, that was under some duress. But here's a chance for Duchenko. Goes to the net. Saved by Rushka. Pounces on the rebound.
Great attempt. Good pressure by Toronto there early on to try and slow down the Whitby Steelhawks.
The double team coming hard. And, on the power play, why not, right? Commit 2 men to the ball. Whitby will be able to kill the rest of the penalty and have about 5 seconds left on this 30. Milligan takes it on the far boards. Zabolts does. It's kind of a dying quail of a pass from Fernandez. And Zabolts fighting through traffic. The penalty ends. Lewis steps out. They get the shot off. And Watson kind of casually leaves it there for Campbell Parker.
Get it over.
Makes it, drops the ball, but Walker shields it and gets it back. Garrett Lewis couldn't get by him. Here comes Fleming out. Ew, Parker gets by. They go backdoor. Rushka rushes him, and Ferrer just missed over the top.
Great attempt. Whitby trying to put a lot of pressure on the Toronto offense.
Osborne pulls it down. They've got 3 defenders making a beeline to the bench to get the offense out. We are 5-on-5 as we're 2 minutes into the third quarter of a tight Arena Lacrosse League game. Osborne spins off a check. Buck fell down delivering it. There's a shot by Hutchison on the run. Rebound scooped up and a fresh 30 as Rowan Kelly gets the ball and goes immediately over to McWilliams. Osborne slips through. He's picked up by Buck. McWilliams just dangling the ball up top and gets a shot off, and it will be a fresh 30. Hutchison's going to let it roll over center so he doesn't have to risk an over and back. And Kelly's going to come from Milligan, and Hutchison's going to take a break. We got some fresh legs out there. The ball kind of drifts through to Joel Watson, and he hands it off. Here comes Ferreira. Hamley up high, knocks the ball loose. Ferreira gets it, stays over center. Great shot there. Shane Withers is leaning right down at center to make sure the foot didn't step over. The shot's wide. Penalty coming on that loud crack of Peroni on Howell. Sometimes it calls me probably more on the sound than
The sound, I would say so. And then sometimes.
And he is, you said, aggressive, and he's one of those players who has to be playing with some edge.
Absolutely.
He's going to take some penalties. You don't mind that.
Yep.
You don't like that one where the ball is basically loose and you're just kind of swatting at a guy, but that's kind of the style he plays. That did go off of Rushka's foot, so it's going to be a fresh 30 as Campbell Parker tracks it down. He's going to let Watson do some work and head over into the corner for him.
No real hurry here.
Just made the 8-second count by a second. It's a casual stroll. Howell goes in. Oh, the pass is knocked away. Conley tried to grab it. Buck comes up with it. They've got 12 to shoot. Gets one off. It comes straight back to Ferreira. Skip pass. Thought it might have been tipped, but it gets through. It's a crease violation. Whitby will go the other way. Upshaw hands it off to Milligan. 1 minute remaining in the Whitby penalty.
Whitby's got a few shorthanded goals for, so always dangerous.
There's a shot from Milligan that wasn't far off the far corner.
No, that's
as
right.
You're saying that. Hutchinson gets a little check-in on Howell before he heads to the bench. 40 seconds on the penalty, so lots of time, but Toronto's taking 15 seconds of their power play possession just to set up. There's that offside setup, but then they go to Buck on the far side and instead of taking the shot, that's wide, it's coming over and back. Upshot thought about racing after, now he's just going to jog down to start possession. Don't pick that up, Adam De Silva.
Wow.
Andrew De Silva. That's a delay game.
I thought he was going to grab that just to be nice and hand it to him, but that would have been 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Good to see the referee communicating.
McWilliams across the top, a little pick from Milligan. Barges through traffic. Nice arm save, Watson. Didn't see the rebound.
Very casual save by Watson. Looks very comfortable in there tonight.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Just
Better
5
get that
goals.
ball over.
Oh, and there's the 8-second count. And honestly, early on, I thought Whitby had way more chances, was pushing the pace, and Watson was the difference. But Toronto's playing, possession for possession with Whitby right now. Osborne misses that pass, and Watson's going to look for the outlet. Nothing there. He's going to go short to Ferreira. Tachenko gets trapped in the corner, trying to fight his way out. Does it? Oh, but the ball was left behind. And there's a penalty I don't think Toronto's going to like it, but that's the exact same call. That little chop
it is, yeah.
running out of the loose ball.
Again, it is the right call.
Yeah. So the extra attacker is out. They've got 14 on the shot clock. Pass high to Milligan, but he catches it. Fernandez. Oh, and another one coming. I don't know. You got to learn where the line is you can go up to. And I've crossed it. I'm sure you've crossed it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just, it is the edge that those guys play with. And, sometimes it works to your advantage and then sometimes not, like you just seen there.
So we stay 5-on-5, and Toronto gets possession just this side of center. To Silva. Back up top to Parker. Toronto just it almost looks like they're killing a penalty. Now they're going to go to the net. They try to shovel it out. They can't quite connect. De Silva going after it, tries to stay on center. He does. Fleming all over him, but De Silva avoids the over and back, gets the pass down low. That shot's just a bit late. There we go. CJ Fleming takes him. I couldn't even see him. He was along the boards behind your head. And no offense.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. He was right along beside me.
I seen him, yeah. There's another player there we don't talk a lot about, but CJ Fleming has really had a good season.
He has. Comes up from New York.
Yeah. He was very looked like a standout at the combine, so it was nice to see he's actually settled in here nicely with Whitby.
He's still a bit raw as that attempted reverse whip from Hutchinson, but I mean, he's an athletic guy. He's an eager learner. And very positive character guy.
Very big and strong.
Yeah. Does some really good things. Every once in a while you see him do something you think, ooh, you haven't been playing box your whole life.
That's right, yeah.
When he's up against a bunch of Canadians, it's going to happen. Again, Parker up high in Toronto. I mean, they're 10 seconds left of their 30. They're just now with 7 seconds getting inside the restraining line.
Whitby's really putting a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So
and a
they're
penalty
really
coming to Peroni.
Yeah.
Way away from the play.
He doesn't even look back. He just straight in. He knew that time, yeah. It happens, right?
Yep.
It happens. They get the compete level of these guys just takes over sometimes.
Yeah. You get fired up, right? Even coaches.
Yeah.
You get a little riled up.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes spectators. Pass back door. Doesn't get through. Upshot tries to grab it. It's Kelly that comes away with the ball. Good pressure from Hell. That's an underhand pass. Almost made it to Marinier. He's going to try and swat it away. Oh, nice job by Zulian.
Very good job.
There's some good hands. And he rips it. That almost got through. Goes off the instep.
It did, yeah. Just missed.
Kelly has it. He's 1-on-2. It kind of looks, honestly, in this third quarter like both teams are sort of, they've been through a battle in the first half.
They've slowed it right down.
Yeah.
They've slowed it right down.
They're saving things up for the fourth. Hutchison tries to go. There's only 3 Whitby players in the offensive zone. They actually only got 4 guys. Oh, because they're shorthanded. That makes sense. Apparently the odd announcer can lose track of things too. Ferreira waiting for his cohort to join him. We got 16 on the shot clock, 52 still on the power play. Buck cuts underneath. Shot to the far side, doesn't connect. They've got 4 to get it on the net. That pass, tricky one. Ferreira gets it, but he's running out of time. Buck got a shot off, but it was late and high. Whitby can kill all but the last 7 seconds of the penalty. Emery. Fernandez, motion to slow it down. Now he takes the pass. There's the cutter. Hamley wanted the ball. Fernandez was like, yeah, we're going to wait and kill this penalty. Oh, and the man off the bench. McWilliams fighting for possession over there. At some point, that's got to be withholding. But you know what?
Yeah,
He's still raking. He's not hiding it. He's just, wow. And that, yeah, he wants a penalty called. Might have had a point on that one.
Very good effort. Very great effort by McWilliams.
And just as I was saying, it's got to be withholding. I was like, no, it's loose. He's just raking and scooping. Body position, what a great shift by Cole McWilliams. The penalty is expired. There's a big hit by Conley. And Whitby's going to come out with possession. Garrett Lewis heading up the floor. He's going to shoot that, and he just misses far side and gets up out of play. And we're going to come to our media timeout with 5:09 to go in the third quarter, and no goals here in the third. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. It's 5-4 Whitby still. We'll be right back. Arnold starting with the ball deep in their own end. Mitch Zulian, fake behind the net, turns and runs past Dylan Hutchison. Gliding the length of the floor, shoots from the save by Rushka. Hutchison went with him. Now he's going to run the other way.
He is a tired runner.
Moving all right, though. There's Peroni dropping that ball. And it's grabbed by Dachenko eventually. 2-on-1. Here comes the player off the bench. Oh, and they just let him go to the net. Wow, that was an interesting
miscommunication there for sure.
Yeah. And, I mean, Corey Upshaw is one of my favorite defenders in this league. I think he's a tremendous defensive player, but he just walked away from a player rushing towards the net on that one.
Breakaway. Unless they knew something about his shooting percentage that we're not aware of, maybe.
Judging by the result, maybe they did. I don't know. Marinier knocks that ball loose. Ball still on the floor, and Buck's going to go get it. And then, just like that, a little change of direction, he's out of traffic. Shot clock winding down, so he rips one on net. It's a fresh reset, but Rowan Kelly gets it. Buck is staying back in the offensive zone, so a couple of Whitby players telling Rowan Kelly to stay with him. Osborne hits to Milligan. Fernandez comes to Hamley near side. We got some 4-on-4 action on this end of the floor. The stop by Watson. Fernandez goes after the loose ball. There's a through the crease call.
Through the crease call. Look, I mean, I don't. Maybe his foot came through when he tried to play the ball out, but
wouldn't that just be a crease violation?
I thought
maybe
so too.
Maybe he played it before and nobody else had, so he was. I don't know.
That could be.
Toronto, 11 on the shot clock. Buck fighting for a loose ball. Gets through a couple of Whitby defenders, but Rushka takes it away from him.
We've seen a lot of numbers in transition here for Whitby.
Fleming hands it off to Hutchinson. Goes to the net. That's off the post. It's going to be grabbed by Milligan. Fleming will head to the bench for an attacker. Buck has stayed up front again. Curtis Conley with him. Sorry, Zach Ursu is the man back on D. Here's the Bolts. Pulls it down. Goes into it. Howell comes out and there's a pick. Quick release and a goal. Jeff Fernandez converts the pass from Cam Milligan.
Well, with those ones there, I think he knows where he has to go with that play because the goalie just can't get across, and he is going to open up on the 5-hole for sure. So
Peroni and Howell. Oh no, it is Morgan. It's Riley Morgan. Now, if you're wondering why that wasn't over and back and some of the other ones were, it's because he hadn't established himself in the direction towards the net. Hutchinson can go back over that one zone. He's just hanging on to the ball here until everyone gets out to join him. And Buck again is down the floor. McWilliams on the run, stopped by Watson. What do you think of the man up the floor strategy?
Well, it depends on how they feel, how confident they are back here. But Watson's seen the ball. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them in that last set there. But he's seeing the ball real well tonight, feeling real comfortable. So they're going to just play their odds there.
Feel like you can give up that space 4-on-4 and hope to get.
I don't think it's not something I've seen the Monarchs do all year, but it's a little coaching tactic, change things up a bit.
Toronto's just going to let the 30 run out on this one. Hutchinson over center. Buck still up there with Conley hanging out. It is Conley this time. Fernandez deep to Zabolt. Back to Fernandez. Hamley takes the pass, circles out high. It's a pick for Fernandez, runs around it. Again, the waters open up. Watson reaches out and picks that one off.
Very smart read by Watson there.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, you see later in a game, guys have been running back and forth. They get fatigued physically. You also see some mental fatigue at times. And I thought, like that defensive set, Toronto, again, just lost contact. Kind of like we saw Whitby a little while ago have a bit of a breakdown.
That's right.
Milligan thought about the outlet pass. It wasn't there, so he waits. Now he gets to Fleming, who's going to go to the net, passes it to Hamley, goes for the give and go. It opens it up for Milligan. Nice shoulder save, Watson. Hamley gets the rebound.
Whitby's persistence and pressure on defense is really taking its toll on Toronto.
McWilliams hands it off to Milligan. He'll go set a pick. Oh, slip pick. Hamley. Hutchinson coming for the pick. He's kind of running away from it. The feed on the roll. Nice save again. Watson, great catch. Oh. And Hutchinson just took a cross check to the face from Anthony Smitheram. I think the refs were, oh no, we do have a penalty up at the top. Mark Thompson's got it. And actually, we'll see whether it's a 2 or a 5. And in the meantime, the shot from McWilliams comes back out. Now they're going after Osborne, who is reaching into the crease, and we might have another one.
A little bit of momentum on the other way. I mean, you do gain momentum defensively as well, so it is a big turning point. You don't want that spread to get too much, that insurmountable, that Toronto just can't find their way back in. But
and Whitby can't do that. They tend to be a second half team that kind of pours it on. Milligan will start with the ball. Again, Rushka will stay in his net because they're already on the power play, so they just go 5-on-4. Osborne. Fernandez to Milligan. Sees a lane, he scores. They were not waiting for last shot. They didn't have to, so he just takes the chance and rips one high cheese. .6 left in the third. It's now 7-4 Whitby after the power play goal. Of course, we're back to 5-on-4. And Emery swoops in, grabs the ball, and timeout, just 2.1 seconds off the clock. So Whitby now will pull Rushka and will go with the 6-on-5.
Just never know.
All right, 12.3 seconds. McWilliams over to Osborne, down to Milligan. Oh, Fernandez wide open in the slot. They just lost him, and there's another one from McWilliams. Oh, my goodness, it gets through to Liam Osborne. somehow catches the ball in traffic, turns and just reaches out and tucks into the far corner. Right? 0.3 of a second left.
Well, great effort by Whitby. Really tough pill for Toronto to swallow, giving up 2 goals late.
Oh, wow. The tough thing is they run the clock. We're talking 6-4, and we're talking about Can. Here we go. Fourth quarter action about to get underway. Morgan for Toronto going left to right. Peroni for Whitby going right to left. Face-off violation. Toronto. Whitby's going to start with the ball. Ursu collects the ball, takes a look around. Penalty coming already. Peroni on the receiving end of a chop this time. And Rushka will go to the bench for an extra attacker. Pass across the middle is knocked down and gets away from McWilliams. Watson grabs it and the penalty will be enforced.
Play on.
And Whitby has done this to teams. I think we said through this year they've had games where they let people hang around, teams battle, and then Whitby can just find a few holes. Milligan trying to find one there, but Watson with the save. And Dachenko runs in behind the net, bounces it ahead to Walker. Long pass, doesn't connect. It's an ambitious pass.
Just no need, just hang on to it, kill the con, let help come to you. But
I think a lot of times, players are thinking I can get the ball ahead and we can start getting into the offensive zone, get the kill, but you got to think risk reward too, right? You make the long pass, what are the chances? And if you complete it, you're just going to stand there and, Milligan off the boards to himself. Toronto doesn't like it.
Nice play.
But the Whitby bench sure does. Morgan and Peroni again. After the highlight reel goal by Cam Milligan makes it 9-4. And Morgan and Peroni are going to go. They've had enough of each other. Peroni drops the gloves, lands a right. There's another one. Kind of hits him with an elbow on the way back. Morgan just standing in, trying to get his hands free. Peroni may have hit it on an uppercut. Oh, another one, another hard shot. Morgan does land one, then another. And they're done. Quite a tilt. Had a couple of fights, a couple of game efforts by the Monarchs. I'd have to give the edge in both to Whitby, though.
Yeah, that was a surprising. You know what? I will say this: you don't see Peroni fight very often, but he just showed that he can do it. So
Toronto going to the power play after the fight. Peroni's taking an extra, which will be served by Lewis. Parker at the top, over to Buck, gets it back. Howell comes across the top. Sorry, there's Dachenko. Now it's Howell with the ball. Skip pass, doesn't get through. I think it was tipped. Farthing tried to grab it, but Toronto gets the ball back. They've got 5 to get a shot on net. Conley working over Zulian. The save by Rushka. Makes the short outlet pass to Farthing. He's going to zip up into the offensive zone. Tries to go backdoor to Hamley. Hamley will track down off the boards, but pressure on him from Walker, and it gets away. Toronto back into the offensive zone. Minute 6 left on the power play. Again, 10 seconds or so to set things up. Now Buck sidearm. Rushka looked behind him. It's under his left foot. Garrett Lewis running the floor. Pulls up. Nice job passing across to Milligan. He's calling for somebody else to come join them. And Buck is up the floor.
So they're quite content to leave Buck up the floor.
Yeah, Buck's staying up there, so Lewis is going to drift back. So they've got 18 left, lots of time on the shot clock. Lead up a good chunk of the penalty to Peroni. Fernandez had a little trouble, bobbled it, 5 to shoot. Watson gets away from him, but Smitherham's there to scoop it up. Toronto's got 10 to see if they want to do something with the power play. I don't see it happening. Just don't want to risk that shot carrying me off the boards and lead into a breakaway.
No, I mean, it's just, unless they can get inside, that might be the only opportunity. Yeah. Anything outside is just too detrimental the other way.
Buck with a little pick. Ferreira's pass snagged by Howell. Gets away from Lewis on him. Jumping dunk attempt. Dunk attempt, didn't get it. Here's Upshaw on the run. Oh, it gets it through to Hutchison. It just bounces off his stick. Zabolts, far side to Hutchison. De Silva immediately out on him. Hudson, that's a pretty nice shot, but Watson another solid save.
Yeah, 9-4, but he's actually played very solid in there.
Yes, they got to him just a little run, but those were tough ones to stop. The other end, meanwhile, Lane Rushka might have had one or two early on that he would have liked to have back, but boy, he has been really sharp as well. And the ball finally out of the pads of Watson.
Both goalies looked well. They've been tested a lot.
Whitby, a lot of depth in net with Rushka and Lucas Coote, the backup today, and Bailey Brown, who's been here a bit. Did that one touch him? I thought it was off of Rushka. Blaine McCauley thinks so as well. Nope, must have been a bit wide. Whitby comes the other way. Milligan, tucks it home. He's so smooth when he's in alone.
Probably shouldn't be the guy that's left alone there,
yes.
But that's...
Garrett Lewis will take the face-off for Whitby with Peroni in the box against Andrew Smitheram. Sorry, Anthony Smitheram. Violation Whitby, so Toronto will get the ball. We're into the final 10 minutes of this fourth quarter. Marinier scoops it up, and look at the way he covers ground. But what a strip by Parker, who's going to get a breakaway out of it and scores. What a play by Parker, who's going to get the cause turnover and the goal. Ursu races in to grab that loose ball, fighting off the double team. Fernandez comes near side to Osborne. He's got some space. Tries to go to Fernandez, a little pick from Hutchison. Fighting through the check, it's a shot off. Nice trail check by Zulian. He's off to the races. Great hustle back by Osborne, but what a move by Zulian. The shot didn't quite go the way he wanted, but I love the change of pace and the move that Zulian put on there. Just Farthing comes up with it. He's going to let one rip. Milligan with the rebound off the loose ball.
We talked a lot about a lot of the great things Mark's done. I think he's got to work on those breakaways.
Yeah, the finish has not been quite polished like a diamond yet. Osborne to the far side to Hamley. Buck once again up the floor, watched by CJ Fleming this time. Hamley. Penalty coming. So Whitby's going to pull the goalie and get an extra attacker out. The 30 just starting. Fernandez back to Milligan. The shot is knocked down. They get the ball back. Oh no, it's grabbed by De Silva. So, with 7:40 to go, we're going to have a Whitby power play. The score 10-5. Yeah, I mean, Whitby's averaging about 15 goals a game. I just got to think of do the math here. 122 goals in 9 games. So, when you're holding them to 10 at this point, it's not so bad.
Yeah, no, you've done your job. Hutchison's going to man the top of the power play. They go lefty strong. Across to Fernandez, back up to Hutchison. Hamley's down low. Milligan fires one into the feet of Watson. It's stopped. Parker spins away from the check. Oh, the long outlet pass to Buck is picked off, and Conley throws it ahead. Whitby right back to the man advantage. Milligan to Hutchison. Oh, what a rip. Jeff Fernandez has been pretty quiet today, but it's a nice shot
that's a
there.
Beauty.
Watson would like that back, but that's just a great shot.
Smitherham out for the draw against Lewis. Pops out, Julian trying to grab it. Julian does come away with it. Changes direction. Solid game for that young man. Winding up Smitherham. That one got checked, stick on stick, and the ball went over to the far corner. Almost hit ref Shane Withers. Outlet pass, long one to Farthing. He's going to fake the pass. Now he goes to Ursu, who's all alone, buries it. Farthing heard you. He's working on the break.
Yeah, there you go.
Says, just give me a 2-on-1 and I'm golden.
Same jump they had earlier on, and obviously now a 12-5 spread. That's going to be tough to come back.
It's felt like a completely different game since that point, right?
Yeah,
it was
really
6-4.
did, yeah.
Going into that, it's been 6-1 since. Whitby taking their time, getting the offense out. Buck is up the floor for Toronto. That's why you're seeing 4-on-4 down here. Osborne. Puts his shoulder in, steps back. Oh, a stick up into the face of Zabolts. He and Smitherham having a little chat. Wasn't vicious, just the sliding up.
Yeah.
You never like it when you get a metal bar into your face mask. Gets away from Ferreira. Conley taps it ahead. He's taken off. Nice hustle by Ferreira, chasing him. The save by Watson. He's kind of taps it out there. It's grabbed by Fleming. Oh, you hear the whole bench yelling, shoot, shoot. They want CJ Fleming to get his first Arena League goal. I don't think he's got one. No. Tried the behind the back, which isn't a bad effort, but
if that's a field lacrosse net, he's money.
If that's 2 field lacrosse nets, he's got it. Tanner Buck grabs that loose ball. Sidearm rip. That's going to be an over and back, and Whitby will get the ball.
Media?
I think that's immediate timeout with 3:43 to play. The score 12-5 Whitby. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. This is Arena Lacrosse League action. We'll be right back. Whitby starting with possession. Comes across to the near side. McWilliams down low to Milligan. They try to feed it through. Nice pass to Osborne. He's going to grab the ball. They're going to call him for crease. That's a conversation between the coaches and officials, clarifying the crease situation.
Well, yeah, I think what they're arguing is that, in fact, he picked the ball up and kept his stick in the crease, didn't pull it back out, so should have been allowed that shot, but
yeah,
referee's seen it differently.
Parker driving to the net, gets a shot off, stopped by Rushka. Oh, Fernandez off the bench. It's hard off the post. That's going to bounce right into the Whitby bench. And that'll be Toronto possession. De Silva on the run. See if he has a go. I say shoot that one. He's down by 7.
Yeah, let her go.
Over to Smitherham. Ferreira's going to let it rip. That hit off a defender. Ferreira tracking it down. Oh, what a reach by Rushka. The tippy toes just on the edge of the crease, and he goes and gets it.
On there.
Here's Fleming to Fernandez. It's got to come back to him. I guess an assist's okay. Pretty sure the Whitby bench is going to say, give that one back to CJ.
Yeah, I think they would like to see him get one for sure, but
13-5 into the final minute of play. Relatively passive face-off battle. The final score here is going to be Whitby Steelhawks 13 and the Toronto Monarchs 5. They'll move Whitby to 8-2. Toronto will drop to 2-8. Oh, wait a second. There's a chance. Parker's going to spin. Lewis pushes him out.
He's just trying to stay out. I don't know really.
And that'll do it for this match here at the Children's Arena. But Lewis and Howell get into it a bit. The officials are just sending all the Whitby players to their end.
Tough play there at the end. The Toronto offensive guy just trying to stand out, and Garrett Lewis was wanting to take some shots at him. And
cooler heads are prevailing. It's tricky because the refs are trying to send Whitby players to our left and Toronto players to our right, but the goalies are at the opposite ends. So their players are going to meet them, and they wind up crossing. But everyone calms down, and that'll do it for this game. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. Thanks for being with us, lacrosse friends, and we'll see you next time.
In an hour.